What's up, Stanleys? Welcome to the best and most interesting YouTube channel on all of YouTube. So today, I'm going to be doing my rewatch reaction to Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron Order 66 cutscene. So I probably watched this like 7 times by now, and I remember the first time I watched it, I got a lot of emotions, but I'm going to watch it again, rewatch it, and I'm going to give you all my full details and opinion on that cutscene. So without any further ado, let's get started. I love John Williams' soundtrack so much. Trade Federation soundtrack from Episode 1 and Episode 2. Really fitting for the Clone Wars. Confederacy flagship. Straight ahead. Just the soundtrack itself gave me so much chills already, like, as a massive Star Wars fan, like, the soundtrack just gives me major callbacks to when I was young, like 5 or 6 or 7 years old, watching Revenge of the Sith, Episode 2, just watching Star Wars, made by George Lucas.
Little brother, you need a hand with that? Sure, why not lend a hand instead of ordering everyone around like some kind of general? With that attitude, you'll never be one.
X1 and X2. Clones of Falcon Grey, Jedi Knight, during the Clone Wars. Escape from Naboo soundtrack playing. The 501st. The Jedi, the 501st, like, yeah. This is my step right here.
It's an invasion! Move! Let's go, little brother. This is no training. X1, X2, do you read me?
Master Froda.
Yes, Master Froda. We read you. What is it? General, we're aware of the situation. We're taking action now. X1, I need you. Come on. We need to get to the garrison.
Tatooine. Mos Espa. Well, I was almost about to break down.
Wait, what are you doing?
I really like all the prequel soundtracks in this cutscene.
The Jedi betrayed
And the
the Republic,
501st
sir.
Legion.
They're attempting to overthrow the Chancellor.
Betrayed the Republic?
They are attempting to overthrow the Chancellor.
I need to speak to Master Froda.
That Tamir Morrison voice.
Executed immediately.
Does it sound exactly like Tamir Morrison, but sounds similar?
Palpatine.
Master Froda.
Palpatine.
Chase Through Coruscant soundtrack. Master Froda is really excellent at martial arts. He took down like 501st Legion with relative ease. Now like 8 with just his hands and the Force.
So be it.
Immolation scene soundtrack. Well, he did a much better job than Kiadi Mundai
Stop the Jedi! He's killing them!
and Nila Secura for sure.
Brother, no!
X1 and X2.
Hold your fire! X2, stop! The Jedi are not your enemy! You tried to kill my brother! Only in self-defense! You just murdered most of our platoon! I had no choice! Neither do I.
That was really emotional for me. I'm a massive fan of John Williams' soundtrack, Star Wars, the Expanded Universe. It almost brought a tear to my eye, and I really miss the Expanded Universe. And when they played Anakin's theme from Naboo, that really stuck me right there. Since the brothers, X1 and X2, clones of Jedi Knight Falcon Grey during the Clone Wars, they loved each other, but it hints that at the end, X1 and X2, they're not going to be allies. They're going to be enemies, nemesis. Since one realizes that the clones were corrupted by the Sith, Emperor Palpatine. X1 turned to the dark side. X1 was the one that sticked loyal to the Empire, and X2 was the one that rebelled against the Empire and helped Falcon Grey during 14B Buy on Dantooine. And I really love Battlefront. Battlefront was a main childhood game of mine. I remember playing heroes and villains
Mission
on
accomplished.
Tatooine, on Mos Eisley. And I remember seeing the massive crashed ship. I remember the crashed ship. I remember playing heroes and villains, and I was like usually playing as either Luke or Mace Windu against Palpatine, Jango Fett, Boba Fett, Count Dooku, Vader, General Grievous, just to name a few enemies of the Republic or enemies of the Rebellion. And I remember all the maps from Battlefront 2. They had Felucia, they had Magneto, Tatooine, Mos Eisley, specifically Mustafar, dogfights, battle over Coruscant, battle over Kashyyyk. They had Kashyyyk, village of the Wookiees, Polis Massa, Utapau, Operation Nightfall, which was in the Jedi Temple in the main hall, and you could go into the Jedi Council as well, and into the Jedi Library archives. And I remember Operation Nightfall was one of the most difficult levels. You were a 501st Legion, and you had to fight, and you had to succeed in that mission, where you had to destroy almost half the entirety of the Jedi Order in just the Temple only. According to legends, almost half of the Jedi before Order 66 resided in the Jedi Temple. So for the 501st and Anakin Skywalker to defeat the Jedi in the Temple, it was definitely a difficult task. Not for Anakin, I mean Anakin Skywalker, he was so powerful that he could defeat any Jedi in the Temple of relative ease, not even using any required strength for power. Like Anakin Skywalker, he defeated Sindralik, the Battle Master of the Jedi Order, and his apprentice, and Cato, Sindralik's apprentice, the Battle Master of the Jedi Order. And if you don't know, according to legends and the expanded universe, the first Jedi that Anakin Skywalker killed was Jedi Master Jirok, right in front of the Jedi Temple. I remember precisely in the expanded universe, Jirok said something along the lines of, "What is the Anakin?" And he seemed really worried and concerned because he saw Anakin with this disturbed look in his face. The first time Anakin really truly immersed himself in the dark side in order to save Padme, which he was deceived by Palpatine, which when he turned to the dark side, he never really granted that power. It just made him more corrupt, more convoluted in his point of view. After Anakin killed all the Jedi in the Jedi Temple, he first showed Padme in Revenge of the Sith. They had Operation Nightfall in Battlefront 2, and it was one of the best levels. I remember playing as Mace Windu in the Jedi Temple. I remember his theme song. From Episode 2 playing right when Mace Windu got his order to fight in the temple. I remember the storyline. I remember how there was literally like one separatist leader that was a Geonosian that survived Anakin Skywalker's / Darth Vader's attack on Mustafar and the remaining separatist. The mission after Operation Nightfall was Imperial Diplomacy, and that surrounded the Queen of Naboo actually defying the Galactic Empire and its Emperor Palpatine, who was once Chancellor of the Galactic Republic, which he re-established the Republic into the Galactic Empire. The Queen of Naboo defied the Galactic Empire's order and actually harbored and took and gave the surviving Jedi of Order 66 a place to stay, which was against the Empire, since the Empire would exterminate all surviving Jedi. And just like Palpatine said in Revenge of the Sith, the remaining Jedi will be hunted down and defeated. And then that's when subsequently thunderous applause occurs. And I think that it was one of my most memorable missions because my most favorite planet in the Star Wars universe is Naboo, Theed specifically, and I love the map. It was like bringing a mix of the Phantom Menace, the prequel trilogy, with the original trilogy, Stormtroopers, and Vader inside the mission too. And Jedi, I mean, it was a really interesting combination. When I first played it, I was really shocked and surprised. And the mission after that is the mission when the Galactic Empire goes to Mustafar because the surviving Geonosian leader actually reactivated the Droid Army, the Trade Federation, the remaining supplier and remaining remnants of the Trade Federation. And that's when the Galactic Empire and the weak, small, insignificant Droid Army actually battled for the final last time. It was literally the Clone Wars, except the 501st has Stormtrooper armor, and Vader was leading the 501st. The mission after that takes place in Camino. Camino is the cloning facility for the clone troopers and for the Grand Army of the Republic during Episode 2 in the Clone Wars. So whenever the Galactic Republic needed reinforcements during the Clone Wars, they would use the clones that were being created, and the clones were being created from Jango Fett's DNA. They were a specimen of Jango Fett, and each month there would be hundreds of thousands of new clones arriving at the facility and leaving. There would be hundreds of thousands of clones training at the facility and also leaving at the same time to go to new missions with the Jedi Commanders and Jedi Generals. Jedi Commanders were the Padawans, and the Jedi Generals were the Knights and Masters. The Galactic Empire returned to Camino, and the Kaminoans they were still cloning more additional troops when the Galactic Empire told them that no more clones of Jango Fett specimen needed to be created, since they were using new troops that were being listed by regular people, by regular humans that were non-Mandalorian. And it was really, really, really crazy. You had the clone troopers fighting against the stormtroopers, but it was still canon. It was still canon at the time. It was part of Legends, the expanded universe, and it was crazy. When you fight against the clone troopers, when you're a stormtrooper, it's like the stormtroopers are significantly weaker, and the clone troopers are superior troopers since they are clones of the most notorious Mandalorian bounty hunter, Jango Fett. And that was quite a difficult mission, but I mean, it's interesting how each mission is like specifically timed at one full mission. Like whenever they bring and invite a callback from the prequels to the new era in the Battlefront 2, it's like they precisely make it only last for one mission. After the battle with the clones and the remaining Jango Fett specimens that were constantly being created, and they defeated the last batch of clones, that's when it really, really turned into the new Galactic Empire era for sure. And that would directly lead into the timeline of Elite Squadron. And if you pay attention to the Elite Squadron scene, you can see that we're literally treated like, you're my brother, we fight together, and we fight to end separatist conflict. You know, they were fighting for the same reasons until Order 66. And when Master Frodo realized that the clones turned on him, he was really shocked. And X1 and X2, they were turned too, because they were part of the clone army, the Grand Army of the Republic. X1 and X2, they're clones of Falcon Grey, Jedi Knight Falcon Grey, who was injured during the Clone Wars, and he had to require time to recover during the Clone Wars, so they were special troops that were ordered by Palpatine to fight alongside Master Frodo. Added the Immolation soundtrack, not Anakin's Betrayal. Anakin's Betrayal is for a completely different type of Order 66 scene. Anakin's Betrayal was during Order 66 when they show Ki-Adi-Mundi being slaughtered by Commander Bakara on Magneto, Aayla Secure being shot down to death by Commander Bly, Commander Neo shooting down Stas Ali on Salio Kami, Plo Koon being shot down flying mid-air in the planet of Cato Neimoidia by oddballs. Literally every single Jedi that was fighting in the Clone Wars being targeted as the new enemies of the Galactic Empire, right when Order 66 was initiated. If I had to rate the Star Wars scenes that I just showed you, I would probably rate them like 9.5 out of 10 solid, since they were really true and genuine to Star Wars, and they were definitely almost tear-dropping. I almost had a few tears coming out right by the end of the scene, you know. It's the combination of the John Williams soundtrack, the authenticity of the expanded universe, the story, the love. You could tell that the game developers, they were really passionate about Star Wars, and it's not run by some faceless corporation. I really wish we can go back to these times if we remain loyal to our expanded universe roots and keep making content, and we just always never fall into the trap of the new canon, then there is some guarantee that we will have some legends returning and a continuation of the expanded universe timeline. In fact, there's brand new Marvel comics that just released, and it's a continuation of the expanded universe, and that's our first step into a larger world, the world of the expanded universe. The expanded universe was decanonized May 2014. Now, 5 years later, it's brought back, and I'm really stoked and excited to see what's coming next. If you enjoyed my rewatch, please give a like, comment, and subscribe. And also push the bell notification so then you can be notified of my most recent and upcoming uploads. Thanks for watching, and like always, may the Force be with you. Always.